Today we're going to be talking about things that we need on the new map inside of Driving Empire, but before I do that, make sure to subscribe and drop a like on this video. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So as you all know, Driving Empire teased their new map, which we're going to take a look at in depth right now, and then I'm going to showcase all my ideas of what they should add onto this new map. So let's look at it. What do we got right now? We got a hillside road, we got hillside suburbs, we got beachfront resort area. We're really going to zoom in here and look. We got a lookout point. We got like a little island here. We got the airport area. We can go into depth and later about that. A shipping port, shipyard, public beach, national park, NASCAR, row houses, stadium, dealership, downtown, Marina Bay. You get it. They have this whole map kind of plotted out here. And I have lots of ideas for races, first off, what they could do. And I have more. So let's talk about, what do we got over here? So they've kind of showcased what they want to do a little bit. So we got stuff like the downtown area here where they're going to have like these nice buildings with bridges going through the city, which I can see the bridges there going over rivers through the city. We got the beachfront resort. Kind of like a really Miami tropical vibe. I think that's what they're going for there, like very Miami Beach style. Like nice, not mansions. What I was saying, nice, you know, tall buildings. You know, luxury pools, that type of stuff. Lookout point, kind of like that, where you look out at a city. That's like a California style thing. I think that looks pretty cool. A shipping port where you got like the little shipping containers. Could be cool for drifting around. A Chinatown theme where like it's the Chinese signs all over that are really cool, you know, the neon colors and stuff. That's a really cool one. Can't wait to see that. Industrial area, kind of like abandoned warehouses, empty parking lots for car meets, which is a cool idea. National park, okay, we got like foresty roads, off-road trails, that type of stuff. Maybe like even some obstacles in the road, like fallen trees that you have to dodge. That's a cool idea. Row houses, you know, we got like these interesting style houses, which we could kind of go into how maybe they would add new houses on this map. We'll go into that in a minute. A stadium, not sure what the point of that is. I don't know what they would use a stadium for in game. Marina Bay here, okay, so this is like for yachts and boats, which could be interesting. We'll go over that in a minute. Hillside suburbs, you know, for your nicer houses. And that's it all. That's what we went over. The hillside suburbs is kind of blocked, but you get it. That's what it is. I have lots of ideas to go over with this, so we can start with Marina Bay. Okay, so you know how they have boats in game right now? What if you guys, you know, maybe they incorporate boats a little bit better. They update boats, and at Marina Bay, if you have a boat, your boat's automatically parked there. It might cause a little bit of extra lag, so I'm not sure how possible it is. The game's already pretty laggy, so they really need to optimize this new map better so it's not as laggy. But it might be laggy as well if they have boats spawned in. I'm not sure how that would work. But maybe if it's kind of like at your house, you can have display vehicles. Maybe you could have display boats at the port. That's my thought. So that's the first idea I got. The stadium, not really any ideas I have for that. Row houses, okay. I have lots of housing ideas for this update. So with row houses, obviously, you see how like we have like these little condos kind of? Stuff like that, where you can have, you know, nice condos on the row houses. But also, let's go to the downtown area. I want to talk about this. What if you have like one of those licensed skyscrapers? Like they could you know how they license cars? So what if they license a car brand skyscraper? Because I know there's stuff like the Bugatti Tower, for example. That's a random one. We have actually they're making a Pininfarina Tower in real life, and we have Pininfarina licensed. So maybe they could work on getting like an actual tower where you could purchase houses in the game. Kind of like how you have the purchasable houses, but a purchasable apartment, a purchasable condo, at a licensed car-themed tower. Because there's a lot of those in real life in Miami and Dubai. Stuff like the Pininfarina Tower is one that I know is for sure possible. You know, that's a great idea I have there for housing. Beachfront resort. I don't know how that would work, but what if they made it interactable somehow? Like, obviously, at our current resort, we have, like, a parking area for car shows, but I feel like they could do more with the resort. Maybe make it so you could even purchase yourself a little hotel room. Like, maybe, obviously, it would make no sense to have a rentable hotel room. That's kind of random, but what if you have, like, a hotel room house that's permanent, you know? It's kind of random, but it's definitely a cool little feature, you know? Your permanent beachfront hotel room. You can purchase a hotel room. That could be pretty neat, for a housing thing. Hillside suburbs, obviously, that's just, you know, where the normal houses would go that they already have in game. That's kind of my thoughts. That's all I got for housing right now. Shipping port. Okay, so what if you could earn money from drifting and holding like a drift for a while? So let's say you're drifting your car, not kind of like, think of it like if you're racing, you get money from finishing a race. Let's say you do like a certain drift, like a donut or a 360, you get a little bonus money from that or something. Maybe like money bonuses by drifting around in a shipping port or the industrial area, because like there'll be lots of empty parking lots for donuts. Chinatown also could be a cool area to go drifting in. I feel like, you know, definitely would give me some Tokyo drift style vibes if we could do that. So maybe adding drift points in somehow incorporated that will give you money in this new map could make sense, because they're gonna have lots of cool areas to potentially drift through. Okay, now I want to take a look at the map and actually plan out where some races could be. The only race they have planned right now is NASCAR. They said the rest are still to be determined. So at the top, hear me out, we could have an off-road race in this area, or at the bottom, I feel like this might be better for an off-road race because of all the crazy turns and stuff. Now, I think, you know, we have an off-road race right now, obviously, but it's a separate thing from the main game. It kind of teleports you off to a weird island. I think it would be much better if they just incorporate the off-road race right here. I think that could be really cool. For a cross-country race, or I guess it would be better to be called an around-the-map race. Okay, so basically a cross-country race could start in the downtown area, right about here where my mouse is. Then it goes up the road a little bit, right? We go straight on this highway, that's where we enter it. Kind of goes around the highway a little bit. We go around, right? Then we go here and come off the highway. Make a very sharp turn. Go up here, go through the suburbs. Go off-road a little bit. I know this is crazy. Then we go all the way through the off-road area. We go, I don't know, I guess somewhere where it connects back onto the highway somehow. Then we take the highway to the airport area. Go through Kier Curve, and then the race could end in the industrial area. I think that would be an insane, massive race. It would probably take about 5 minutes to complete, would be my guess, but it would definitely go all through the map. Like I said, it starts in the downtown, works its way, you know, around the national park area, through NASCAR zone, all the way to the suburbs, off-road, you get it. It goes through everything. Could be a really fun, cool race. Now, a circuit race, honestly, I don't know where it would be, but my guess would be somewhere either on that island or out here is where the circuit race will end up getting thrown. It's just kind of like a random empty space over there, so I'm guessing that's where they're saving it for the circuit race. Drawbridge sprint race, which we have. I mean, I already see where that could be right there. You know, it could somehow use that area as the drawbridge. I don't know, just like a little square through this area. Obviously, they would add some curves and stuff into the race in some spots. You know, maybe a around the city race where you just kind of go through the downtown area, swerving through those streets. Those are some general race ideas I have. Drag race would obviously be in the shipping port or the airport, you know, and maybe on an airport, like airplane takeoff, or just somewhere in the shipping port down like a shipping area. Maybe there could be two drag races, a short drag race and a longer drag race. That could make a bit of sense. That's all I got for races, really. But I do have a few more, well, I guess they're races still, but, you know, different kinds of races. Boats and plane races. Obviously, you know, we only have helicopters right now, but planes, they might be adding planes. Who knows? They're adding an airport. Why would they add an airport if they're not adding planes? I don't know. So, you know, maybe races through the air, which are really unlimited because they're through the air, you know, not much you could do throughout the air, you know, differently. You just got to swerve around through the air, so I don't know what to say for that. But for boats, if we look, there's actually some nice boat racing tracks here. You know, there could be a boat race that starts here, goes through the rivers, kind of goes here, goes around. You know, there's just tons of different little boat races they can make throughout the rivers and in the ocean. You know, there could be like all sorts of unique boat races, you know, that they could definitely update boats and helicopters, add in planes to make unique style races for them. Now keep in mind, this is just a rough draft of the map. Everything's subject to change, so, you know, if you guys don't like something, let them know in the comments. If you do like it, drop a like. That's how the devs are gonna, you know, kind of collect feedback. They'll be able to watch the video, see how many of you liked it, see what you guys commented to change. I'll let the devs know what you guys want to, you know, see on this map. You just have to let me know and I can tell them. That's the best way to do it. So yeah, I mean, this is the state of the map right now. You know, they kind of got it all planned out. I'm a bit late to discussing it, but I've been, you know, kind of generating my ideas for a bit, coming up with all the stuff I wanted to share with you guys. I've been trying to come up with some really cool ideas, and I think I've been successfully able to put them together, but I did save the best idea for last, a navigation system. Now, they already have a mini-map in the game, but hear me out. we need a navigation system to navigate this map, because, you know, as a player who's played the game for years, you know, it's definitely going to be a crazy change, because we've had the same map for so long. I think a navigation system would definitely be interesting, because there's lots of little side streets, as you can see, you know, so many, it's going to be a massive map. I would say, you know, it's not as big as the map is right now, but it's got more stuff as than the map right now. You know, the map right now kind of like is very spread out, but this map is more condensed. That's the best way to put it. So it's a lot more stuff in a little bit of a smaller space. Honestly, I don't know, it could end up being bigger than the current map. I'm not too sure. I think like the overall land covered with stuff is more, but there's not as much random extra land laying around. But yeah, I think a navigation system to navigate your way through the new map and learn it could be helpful. But I do think that's going to be everything for today's video. I truly hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like. I would truly appreciate it. Subscribing the notification bell so you never miss another upload. Check out the video on screen here. YouTube thinks you'll like it, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.